Whether you've navigated Acumatica 100 times or this is your first, there's always going to be warning messages and error messages that pop up. It's just inevitable. But we're going to take a look at how to resolve some of those in this video. So a very common one is going to be on the payments and application screen. So we just had an invoice for something that we shipped to this customer, and we're creating the payment for it. And now if I go ahead and try to save it, we're going to see there's an error. Now, whenever you see an error, the key thing is not to worry and not to freak out. It's something that's going to come up regardless of what you're working with. Sometimes you'll be able to understand it. Sometimes it might be confusing. But the key is just not to freak out and to be able to read through it easily. Looking at this, it's going to say that it raised at least one error. It's asking me to review the error. I'm going to click OK. And when I do that, you're going to see oftentimes where the error is referring to. So as we notice on this left side, we have an X and then a red box around this payment reference. When I hover over this, it's going to tell me that there's an error. Now, if you see right next to the error, it's going to say payment ref cannot be empty. So it's telling me that this needs to be filled in order for me to complete the action that I was just doing. In this case, it's going to be saving this payment. So if you notice right here, if I go in and enter some number, and now if I click save, our error went away. If you notice right here, this is a required field. So not having this in is what threw the error in the first place. These errors are to help you. They're not necessarily to hinder your experience. They're not to hinder your ability to move throughout the system. These errors are because the system is trying to point something out in a unique way, and it's not letting you proceed any further until that error is resolved. Now, what we saw was a red X over a field. Now, there is a difference between an error and a warning. So another classic example is on the sales order screen. So I have just entered in a 350 series window. And if we notice, once I did this, a couple of errors popped up. Now, if we see right here under our quantity, if I hover over the warning, it's going to tell me that the available quantity for this item is not sufficient in the wholesale warehouse. So this still allowed me to save the record. As we see it, the record is saved. However, it's just warning me that we are not able to have the quantity in order to fulfill this particular order. If we hover over the unit price, there's going to be another warning message that comes up. It's going to say that the average or lost cost cannot be determined because it cannot be found in the system. So this is just saying that we don't have a unit price for this item inside of the system, so it's not able to be determined for the average or the last cost for this particular unit price. Again, these warning messages are not going to affect your ability to navigate. However, they are warning you about a future error that might show. So we've just added this item to a sales order. The system has warned us that we don't have the quantity. And so now if I go ahead and create the shipment, I'm going to specify this warehouse and click OK. Here, once it processes, it's going to tell me that it cannot be shipped in full. And oftentimes what you'll see is the check the trace for more details. The trace is more so for the back-end coding of the system. However, it's important to read the warning or the error message that the system is presenting to you to make the best decision to move forward. What this is telling me is it cannot be shipped in full. And if I go back to our warning message and I see, okay, I don't have the available quantity, this makes sense. It's not able to ship something that I don't have. So these two examples on both the payments and application screen and the sales order screen are both very common examples that we see quite frequently. These errors are going to show up regardless of what screen that you are on. However, it's always important to stay calm, to take a look at what the error the system is telling you. And if you're still confused after doing that, just let us know and we can certainly help. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.